Do you ever just feel, well, out of sync? Like your mental clarity is a bit fuzzy, maybe?
hmm
Your body's running on half a tank, and your emotions are constantly trying to catch up?
Yeah, that feeling's pretty common these days, isn't it?
It really is. In our fast-paced world, it's a feeling many of us know well, and honestly, who wouldn't want to feel like they're running on peak performance, mentally and physically?
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're taking a deep dive today into biohacking, scientific protocols to reset the mind, body, and emotions.
Hmm.
Our mission here is really to cut through the noise, to demystify biohacking by separating it from the fads and sometimes the pseudoscientific trends.
Right. Get to the core of it.
Yeah, and give you a structured framework of evidence-based techniques. Think of it as understanding your own intricate system, maybe ready for a thoughtful upgrade.
What's truly compelling here, I think, is how this idea of resetting applies so profoundly to our human systems. It's more than just a quick fix.
Definitely not a quick fix.
No. It's about actively interrupting those dysfunctional patterns, whether they're, cognitive habits, physiological imbalances, or emotional responses, and then establishing a healthier, more optimized baseline.
So building a new foundation.
Precisely. We're not chasing fleeting trends here. Our focus for this deep dive is on practices grounded in solid science. We're drawing from neuroscience,
Sure.
physiology, psychology,
The real deal.
the real deal, exactly, to bring about deep, sustainable changes. And for you, our listener, the payoff is tangible. We're talking improved clarity, focus, memory,
That sounds good.
a real boost in energy and resilience, and maybe even a reduction in chronic inflammation throughout your body.
That's the goal, right? Profound, lasting changes. So let's maybe nail down what biohacking genuinely means beyond those flashy headlines and, the social media gurus.
Yeah, good idea.
At its heart, it seems to be a movement to optimize human functioning through specific, often data-driven interventions.
That's a good way to put it. Data-driven is key.
Right. The overarching goal seems to be providing actionable protocols, all backed by actual scientific research, and to really foster a deep sense of self-awareness, often through personal data tracking.
Self-tracking, yeah. The quantified self idea.
Exactly. So as we explore this, maybe you, the listener, can consider what specific areas of your own life feel like they're dragging a bit.
Mm.
Is it that inevitable afternoon slump, the struggle to focus on a complex task, or maybe just that constant background hum of everyday stress?
Where could you use that boost?
Yeah, where might you benefit most from a true reset?
And that concept of a reset, it isn't a one-and-done event. It's more like a continuous intelligent recalibration.
An ongoing process.
Exactly. And what's absolutely crucial to grasp here is the intrinsic connection between your mind, body, and emotions. They're not isolated entities at all.
No, they feel very connected.
They are. We're talking about complex, interwoven systems.
Yeah.
Like the gut-brain axis is a big one.
Yeah.
It's a two-way street where your digestive system literally talks to your brain.
Influencing mood and decisions.
Absolutely. Everything from your mood to your decision-making. Then there's the autonomic nervous system, orchestrating your fight or flight and your rest and digest responses.
Kind of the body's accelerator and brake.
That's a great analogy. And the endocrine system, managing all your hormones, all these systems are in constant dynamic communication.
It's incredibly complex.
It is. And this is where it gets really interesting, I think. Many effective biohacking protocols are actually underpinned by this core principle called hormesis.
Hormesis. Okay, tell me more about that.
Think of it like lifting weights. You apply a controlled, acute stress, lifting the weight, and your muscles adapt, they grow stronger.
Right, the stress causes growth.
Exactly. Hormesis is that same principle applied across many biological systems. A mild beneficial stressor like, say, intense exercise or maybe cold exposure triggers these adaptive responses. Ultimately, it makes you stronger and more resilient overall. It's about leveraging these small, intentional challenges to build a more robust you.
I love that analogy. It's amazing how our bodies can adapt and thrive when given the right signals, kind of like a well-designed training program for your entire being.
Precisely.
Now, we've talked about our body's amazing capacity to adapt, but what about that feeling when your brain just isn't cooperating?
Oh, yeah. The brain fog.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When focus is elusive or creativity feels blocked, many of us hit that mental wall. This is where neurohacking comes in, I guess, aiming to fine-tune our personal command center.
That's the idea.
And what's truly fascinating when we talk about changing our minds isn't just about willpower, is it? It's that our brains are incredibly adaptable, this concept you call neuroplasticity. Can you unpack what that actually means for us?
Absolutely. Neuroplasticity is just the brain's incredible lifelong ability to reorganize itself, basically,
Mm.
forming new neural connections, new pathways in response to learning, experience, even specific interventions we might try.
That's not fixed.
Not at all. It's constantly
Oh.
changing. And the exciting part is we can intentionally guide that change to some extent.
Yep.
Well, we have concrete evidence-backed protocols to support this. Take mindfulness meditation, for instance.
A popular one.
Very popular, and for good reason. Numerous studies, even large meta-analyses, show that regular meditation can actually increase gray matter density in brain areas like the insular and prefrontal cortex.
Which are important
For attention, emotional regulation, really key executive functions. And at the same time, it tends to reduce activity in the amygdala,
the fear center.
often called the fear and stress center, yes. So you're strengthening control and dialing down the alarm system, essentially.
Okay, but for someone new to meditation, maybe facing a really busy mind, how do you even begin to quiet it enough to get these benefits? That sounds hard.
It can feel daunting at first, but many people start small, just 5 or 10 minutes a day.
Mhm.
Focusing on the breath is a classic entry point, simply observing thoughts as they come and go without judgment.
So not trying to stop thinking.
No, that's usually futile. The goal isn't to stop thinking, but more to change your relationship with your thoughts, observing them rather than being swept away by them.
That sounds incredibly powerful for mental clarity, especially when our minds just feel overwhelmed.
It truly is. Another approach, maybe a bit more intensive, is sensory deprivation, often done in float tanks.
Float tanks, like floating in salt water.
Exactly. By reducing sensory input, sound, light, even gravity, to some extent, you induce a state of profound relaxation. This significantly lowers cortisol, our main stress hormone,
Uh-huh.
and it promotes the brainwaves, which are often linked to creativity, insight, and deep learning. Research from places like the Clinical Stress Research Laboratory in Sweden has really highlighted these benefits.
Interesting. So less input equals more internal clarity, perhaps.
That seems to be part of it, yes. Then there's something quite different, non-invasive brain stimulation, like PDCS, transcranial direct current stimulation.
Okay, that sounds a bit sci-fi.
It does, doesn't it? It involves applying very gentle electrical currents to the scalp to sort of nudge neuronal excitability up or down in specific areas.
And the goal.
Well, it's still an evolving field, definitely. But systematic reviews suggest it might have potential for improving things like motor learning or attention in specific protocols.
But you'd need professional help for that.
Oh, absolutely. This is not a DIY technique. It requires real caution and professional supervision. The research is ongoing.
Right.
But the promise is fascinating, isn't it? Imagine a future where we could precisely and non-invasively enhance specific neural pathways for learning or mood regulation, under expert guidance, of course.
So these are pretty nuanced tools for the mind, some definitely demanding significant professional guidance.
Yes.
But, a sharp mind needs a strong foundation, right? And that brings us to the physical realm.
The body, yeah.
How do we initiate a reset for the very engine that powers our thoughts and feelings? Resetting the body seems to be all about optimizing those really fundamental systems. Sleep, nutrition, movement.
The big three.
The big three. And the underlying evidence here seems to tie back to our physiology's deep response to circadian rhythms, that natural 24-hour clock.
The body clock.
And the principles of homeostasis, just keeping things stable internally. And there it is again, hormesis. That beneficial response to controlled stress.
Precisely. They all weave together. And the practical protocols here can be incredibly impactful. First up, circadian sleep hygiene.
More than just getting 8 hours.
Oh, much more. It's not just how much sleep, but crucially when and how you sleep. For instance, getting bright morning sunlight exposure is key.
Why morning light specifically?
It helps synchronize your body's master clock, which is called the suprachiasmatic nucleus, deep in the brain. That clock regulates melatonin production later in the day.
Setting the stage for good sleep later.
Exactly. And conversely, avoiding blue light from screens, phones, tablets, computers for maybe 2 to 3 hours before bed is fundamental.
That's the tough one for many people.
It really is. But that blue light actively suppresses melatonin production. Chronobiology research strongly supports limiting evening exposure.
Okay, avoiding blue light sounds logical, but practically? For many, their phone is also their alarm clock, their late-night reading, their connection to the world. Are there maybe practical, less drastic steps people can take if a complete screen ban just isn't feasible?
That's a great question, because for many, a complete ban feels impossible, doesn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. But even simple steps can make a difference. Using blue light filtering glasses in the evening can help.
Okay.
Activating night mode or blue light filter settings on devices definitely helps tone it down.
Right. Most devices have that now.
They do. Or even just physically moving your phone further away from your face can reduce the intensity of the light exposure.
Hmm.
Dimming the lights in your home in the evening also signals to your body that it's time to wind down. Small steps add up.
Good practical tips. Okay, what else for the body reset?
Next, we have intermittent fasting. This isn't just a diet, really. It's more of an eating pattern.
Right. Focusing on when you eat.
Exactly. And its benefits are pretty numerous. It induces autophagy.
The cellular cleanup crew.
That's a perfect way to describe it. The process that won Yoshinori Omi the Nobel Prize in 2016. It also improves insulin sensitivity, which is huge for metabolic health. And it can even boost mental clarity for some people, partly by training the brain to use ketone bodies as an alternative fuel source.
Interesting. And food quality still matters within that eating window, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. Complementing fasting, integrating an anti-inflammatory diet is key. This isn't about severe restriction, but focusing on whole, unprocessed foods.
Like what?
Things rich in omega-3s, like fatty fish. Lots of colorful fruits and vegetables packed with antioxidants, healthy fats like olive oil, nuts, seeds. These choices actively reduce systemic inflammation.
Which is like a silent drag on the system.
Exactly. It's a silent contributor to so many chronic health issues and can definitely derail any reset efforts. So we're talking about fueling our bodies for optimal performance, not just avoiding what's bad.
Makes sense. Fueling for performance.
Then there's cold exposure, often through things like cryotherapy chambers or, more accessibly, ice baths or even cold showers.
Why would we do that?
Well, immersing yourself in cold water activates the sympathetic nervous system, that alert system. It triggers a release of norepinephrine and dopamine.
So immediate alertness.
Immediate alertness, yeah. Better concentration. And interestingly, there are longer-term anti-inflammatory effects too. Figures like Wim Hof have really popularized this.
The Iceman?
The Iceman, yeah. And studies like those from Redwood University have actually confirmed its capacity to voluntarily modulate the immune response, which is pretty remarkable.
Wow. I often see people initially struggle with the idea of cold exposure, imagining it as just torture.
Understandably.
But the consistent feedback is often this profound sense of accomplishment and clarity afterwards, almost like a mental power wash.
That's a common description, yes.
Yeah.
It's that hormetic stress. Again, a controlled shock to the system for an overall boost. It is fascinating how our bodies respond to that kind of challenge.
It really is. Okay, one more for the body.
Indeed. And finally, high-intensity interval training, or HIIT.
Short bursts, right.
Yeah, short bursts of intense exercise followed by brief recovery periods. It's incredibly time-efficient and effective. HIIT improves mitochondrial health, the powerhouses of our cells.
More energy.
Better energy production, yes. It enhances cardiovascular capacity, and it can boost the production of human growth hormone, HGH, which is crucial for cellular repair and regeneration.
Wow, so many powerful ways to give the body a true system overhaul. But our well-being isn't just physical or mental, is it? Our emotions play such a huge role.
Absolutely central.
Our feelings aren't just these nebulous experiences floating around. They have a deep biochemical and neurological basis. So what does this all mean for resetting our emotions?
It means we can consciously work to regulate our autonomic nervous system and our hormonal balance. We have tools for that.
Okay, how?
Well, a foundational understanding here comes from Dr. Stephen Porges' polyvagal theory. It's a fascinating model.
Polyvagal, tell me about that.
It explains how the vagus nerve, a major nerve running from the brain down through the torso, acts as a kind of internal regulator. It influences our states of safety, defense, and social connection.
And we can influence the vagus nerve.
Critically, yes. And our breath is a direct tool to influence the system. One powerful protocol is heart coherence.
Heart coherence, how does that work?
It's a rhythmic breathing technique, often as simple as inhaling smoothly for 5 seconds and exhaling smoothly for 5 seconds for maybe a few minutes.
That sounds manageable.
It is. And it helps you, quite literally, tune your internal stress thermostat. By synchronizing your heart rhythm and your breath, you're directly influencing your vagus nerve's ability to shift you from fight or flight towards a state of calm.
Giving you an on-demand tool for resilience.
Exactly. Research from places like the HeartMath Institute has shown how this technique promotes a state of calm and balance within the nervous system. It increases heart rate variability, or HRV, which is a key marker of stress resilience.
So literally breathing your way to better emotional regulation. That's a skill everyone could probably use. What kind of immediate difference does someone feel when they achieve that coherence?
Often, it's a noticeable sense of immediate calm, a feeling of being more centered, having greater control over their internal state, maybe a reduction in anxious thoughts almost right away.
Wow.
And it's not about suppressing emotions, let's be clear. It's about bringing your nervous system into balance so you can respond more skillfully to whatever emotions arise, rather than just reacting.
That's a crucial distinction. Okay, are there other breathing techniques?
Yes, we also have more intensive breathing methods like holotropic breath work or Wim Hof breathing.
More tense how?
These often involve periods of controlled hyperventilation followed by breath holds. They can induce altered states of consciousness sometimes, help release what's called somatized trauma. That's like stored emotional tension manifesting physically in the body. And, as we mentioned with the Wim Hof method specifically, generate a powerful anti-inflammatory response. These are generally practices you want guidance with initially.
Right, maybe not something to just try from a YouTube video without understanding it.
Probably wise, yes. Beyond breath, supplementation for mood can play a role for some people.
Like what kind of supplements?
Well, magnesium is a big one. It's an essential cofactor for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body, including the synthesis of serotonin, our feel-good neurotransmitter.
And deficiency is common?
It can be, and deficiency in magnesium has been linked in research to increased anxiety and stress levels.
Interesting. What else?
And then we absolutely have to consider probiotics and gut health. Remember that gut-brain axis?
The two-way street.
It's a bidirectional highway. And get this, around 90% of your body's serotonin is actually produced in the gut.
90%, that's staggering.
It is. So your gut environment profoundly influences your mood and emotional state. Specific probiotics, like certain strains of Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium, have shown in studies to actually reduce symptoms of anxiety and depression by modulating this crucial axis.
It's astounding how much impact our gut health has on our emotional landscape. Really drives home that interconnectedness.
Absolutely.
What about something maybe simpler, like just putting pen to paper? Does that help?
Absolutely. Journaling or expressive writing is a powerful tool. Research by psychologist James Pennebaker is really seminal here.
What did he find?
He found that writing about difficult emotional experiences, even just for 15 to 20 minutes daily over several consecutive days, was associated with significant improvements in both mental and physical health markers.
How does that work?
It seems to help individuals process events, make sense of them, and cognitively restructure challenging experiences. It's an incredibly accessible and potent tool for emotional processing. No fancy equipment needed.
That's a great example of an accessible protocol. So we've covered a lot of ground from modulating brain waves and influencing our nervous system with breath to rebalancing our gut microbiome and leveraging controlled physical stressors like cold and exercise. Let's try to bring it all together for you, our listener.
Okay.
The core conclusions, the takeaways from this deep dive into biohacking seem pretty clear. First, there's that profound systemic interconnection. You really can't optimize one area in isolation, can you?
No, it just doesn't work that way. Everything affects everything else.
Right. Improving your sleep, for instance, doesn't just restore your body. It sharpens your cognition, enhances emotional regulation. It's all one beautifully interconnected system.
Truly is.
Second, data is key. That self-tracking piece, whether it's monitoring sleep with a wearable, checking heart rate variability, maybe even glucose levels for some, it seems fundamental.
It helps personalize everything.
Exactly. It helps you personalize protocols, understand what truly works for your unique system, and move beyond those generic one-size-fits-all recommendations.
Find your own formula.
Third, hormesis is in action. It keeps coming up. Many of these really effective interventions, the cold exposure, the intense exercise, intermittent fasting, they work precisely because they apply that controlled stress to nudge the body into beneficial adaptation.
Using stress constructively.
Yeah. And finally, and maybe this is the most important point, there are no magic bullets.
Definitely not.
True biohacking, it seems, isn't really about finding shortcuts. It's more about restoring those fundamental human habits that modern life has often eroded.
Like what?
Quality sleep, anti-inflammatory nutrition, natural movement, effective stress management, strong social connections. It's about building that robust foundation first.
Back to basics in a science-informed way.
Exactly. Now, there's so much exciting potential here, clearly, but we also have to be realistic and acknowledge the real-world challenges this whole movement faces.
That's a crucial point to bring up. While biohacking offers incredible promise, it also faces some significant challenges and criticisms.
Such as,
Well, one is access and equity. Let's be honest, many cutting-edge technologies, specialized light therapy beds, cryochambers, advanced continuous glucose monitors, or other biometric sensors, they're simply expensive.
creating a divide.
It risks creating a gap, in who can actually access and benefit from these advanced methods. Another major concern is the lack of regulation, particularly in certain areas.
Supplements, maybe.
Exactly.
All right.
The market for nootropics, smart drugs, and various supplements is often insufficiently regulated. And this isn't just about potentially misleading marketing claims.
What are the risks?
There are real risks of product contamination, inaccurate dosages listed on labels, or just unexpected side effects because the quality control isn't always there. Consumers need to be really careful.
Buyer beware, definitely.
Then we get into some serious bioethical and long-term safety questions when you see more aggressive interventions being discussed or even attempted.
Like what kind of things?
Things like CRISPR gene editing happening in unregulated biohacker community settings, or people experimenting with substances not approved for human use. These raise profound ethical concerns, and frankly, the long-term impacts are largely unknown and potentially dangerous.
That sounds risky.
It is. We also need to be wary of extreme individualization, or maybe obsession. The risk of becoming overly focused on the quantified self, tracking every single metric.
It could become stressful in itself.
It absolutely can. It can lead to anxiety, maybe even a kind of health narcissism, or paradoxically, a disconnection from your body's own natural intuition and signals because you're only trusting the data.
So balance is key.
The goal should always be balance.
See.
Using these tools to enhance your life, not letting the tools run your life.
And a final, very important point for anyone considering trying some of these practices. What's the bottom line?
Crucially, professional supervision. It is vital, absolutely vital to remember that biohacking should always complement, not replace, conventional medical care and advice.
So talk to your doctor.
Yes. Any significant protocol change, especially if it involves supplements, fasting, intense protocols, or if you have any pre-existing health conditions, it must be discussed with a qualified health professional, your doctor, a registered dietitian, someone who understands your health picture.
Because these are powerful tools.
They are powerful tools, and like any powerful tool, they require knowledge, respect,
Yeah.
and responsible application.
Such important considerations for navigating this exciting but, clearly complex landscape. Our deep dive today has really shown, I think, that the future of responsible biohacking lies in that blend, combining our individual curiosity with rigorous scientific methods and, as you just emphasized, essential professional guidance.
Well said.
The ultimate goal after all this is surely a state of greater vitality, better resilience, and just integral well-being. Feeling good and functioning well?
Exactly. And, this raises an important question for you, our listener, especially for someone who's maybe always seeking ways to optimize your daily routine, your cognitive edge.
Yeah.
After exploring all these methods we've discussed today to reset your mind, your body, your emotions, what single habit, based on what resonated most with you, might you choose to focus on resetting first?
Just when to start.
Just one to start. And maybe just as importantly, how would you track its impact? How would you know if it's truly working for you and making a positive difference?
Something to definitely ponder as you navigate your own journey to optimization. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today.
My pleasure.
We hope you feel a little more informed, perhaps a little more empowered, and maybe ready to start your own thoughtful reset. We'll see you next time.